Right, that was my cue. Senator Rand Paul has a proposal for Congress and the Supreme Court when it comes to Obamacare.
The president thinks Obamacare is a good idea, and if John Roberts thinks that he can twist the Constitution and make Obamacare constitutional, he ought to get it.
After he said that on our show yesterday, your comments came pouring in. For example, at Church Security, why tweeted this? Why not? If it's good for the citizens, why not make Congress, President, courts, and government employees get the coverage? And Butchell said this.
That's not only a good idea, it's a great idea. Why shouldn't these bodies be subject to the same laws as us?
So
it was Blue Cell, not Butchell.
Either way, either end is okay. But it's illegal. It's illegal to make that change, and we are going to ask News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano.
Good morning.
Question indeed.
You know, there's a lot of Republicans, conservatives, a lot of independents, even some Democrats who think that when the Congress writes a law that generally regulates the public, it should apply to members of Congress as well.
Of course.
This is an extreme example of where Congress visited a heavy regulatory scheme on everybody in the country but themselves and their staff. And it's just not fair. I share Senator Paul's outrage, and I think most Americans share that outrage as well. Basically saying, Newt Gingrich tried this with the Contract for America during the Clinton administration, and he couldn't get it passed. Whatever laws you write for everybody apply to you as well.
Doesn't this apply to the members of Congress and their staffs because of a little rider that Charles Grassley inserted in it? And recently, then, the administration said, you know what, people can't afford it up here on Capitol Hill. We're going to go ahead and give you an exemption.
You know, the statute gives the president so much authority to grant delays and grant exemptions. It arguably
to his friends.
Right. It arguably violates the Constitution for that reason. Hear me out. The Constitution says the Congress writes the laws, the president enforces them. But when the Congress lets the president change the laws for political allies and colleagues in order to get favors back from them, that is effectively the president rewriting the law, which the Constitution prohibits. Senator Paul's proposal, which would be generic, it wouldn't apply just to this. It would say whatever laws Congress writes that regulate the population apply to members of Congress, and everybody would put a stop to that.
And, you know, who's going to fight against this? I mean, we're going to go, I'm worried about the chief of staff of my congressman? No, like it or not, those staffers don't get much money, do it for the benefits and the experience, have to go get another job in many cases.
I guarantee you Harry Reid would never let this come to a vote in the Senate. It would sail through the House. Harry Reid would never let it go through the Senate. But if it sailed through the Senate, it would sail through the states. Remember, to amend the Constitution, 2/3 of each House, Senate, and House of Representatives, 3/4 of the states. This would amend the Constitution in record time if it could get through the Democratic Senate.
But that ratio explains why it has yet to happen.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Well, also the fact that the Democrats control the Senate. Harry Reid won't let this come to the floor.
But for this in particular could go in there, right? This in particular, this stipend that they get to pay towards their own coverage would actually be in Obamacare, right?
Yes.
And how much do the justices make on the Supreme Court?
You know, that's
I stumped you. All right.
You did stump me on that. I'm going to guess it's around. I'm going to guess it's around 210,000, and the chief makes about 225.
Plus, they get commission for every not guilty they get.
All right. Brian, that is not true.
Yes, they do.
Judge, thank you very much.
Stretch.